I'm going to take you through a half an hour workout. We will have 5 circuits, and each circuit goes back and forth between different movement to keep our heart rates up and our bodies moving. Before we start, if you have the chance to grab, like I have a bench, but if you have a chair or a stool or something to elevate your upper half of your body, grab that now. It is not necessary. If you don't have it, I can show options. So number one thing when we are working out, giving everybody a second to grab their bench, is to really brace the core, pull it in to support your body, lift the chest, and then squeeze your back. Even when we're squatting, it's super imperative to make sure the chest is up and open and our back is really pulled back so that we're almost trying to touch our shoulder blades. So if you have your bench, set that aside. We're going to use it for the last 2 circuits. Our first circuit is going to be called a drop set. So we're going to start with some high reps, easier movement to kind of get us warmed up. Then we'll go to a medium reps, medium movement, and then low reps, harder movement. So our first movement is what is called a 3-step run, and we're aiming for 40 reps, 20 going each way. The 3-step run is a lateral movement moving side to side, keeping the hips square to the front, and it's literally 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you can see how I kind of crunch my body, and I really push that knee out, and I keep it forward. I'm not turning, right? So we'll start slow, ease into the workout. And then if you're starting to feel good, you can start to pick up the pace, keeping in mind it's your workout. Do what you need to do. That's 40. All right. Next move is 20 reps. We're going to slice it in half. Feet outside hips. Toes are at an angle, chest lifted, back is squeezing, hips are square, and we're gonna hit 20 squats. What I see a lot when people squat is the knees come in. So really push the knees out so that they're center of your foot. Keeping the chest up, trying to get the butt right in line with the knees. Right? So really push through the heels, all of the pressures in the back of the foot, and we're aiming for 20. That's 20. All right, so we're gonna slice 20 in half, and who doesn't love a good push-up, right? So we're gonna hit 10 push-ups. Some people choose not to do push-ups. Sometimes when I'm teaching in the class, they don't do it. And so I wanna show options because I want everyone to know that they can do a push-up. So level 1, hands just outside the shoulders. You can totally put your knees under your hips and start here. This is a great starting point and totally acceptable. Then when you start to get better at push-ups, you want those knees out. And you're here, keeping the toes on the ground. I'm gonna do my first set here. If you wanna pop onto those toes, that's fine. Just make sure your back is flat, your eye gaze is forward, and your tummy is tight. Okay, so 1 down, 2 to go. We'll give you a second to recover. Grab a drink of water. We're gonna hit that 3-step run. Now, anytime I do circuits, I always try to make an improvement on something. So this time, I'm gonna try to set lower as I do my 3-step, like a little pause, and try to get low. Push the booty out, push the knee out, keep the chest lifted. So we're hitting 40 reps, remember? it just makes everything out here stronger, and like if we're walking outside, we have greater stability on those unstable platforms. 20 squats when you're ready. Set it up. Make sure all the weight's in the back of the foot so you can lift your toes, and start when you're ready. If you have a logo on your t-shirt, we should always be able to see your logo so you're never coming here, right? Keeping that chest up. Super important to have good form because A, you're gonna avoid injury, and B, you're gonna have better results. 20. All right, we've got our push-ups. So I did my first set on my knees. This time I'm gonna try to pop up on my toes, right? For all 10 reps. If I can only get to 5, it's okay. I can put my knees down and try again next workout. Hands outside shoulders. Super important to have the eye gaze forward, back flat. And that was 10. All right, we have one more circuit. I'll give everybody an opportunity to catch up, get their breath before we start our last set. Whenever you're ready at home or garage, start your 40. Squats. Again, knees out. Push through those heels to get the butt. That's 20, 60 reps. Nice. All right, push-ups. At your leisure, take your time so that you know you can tackle your last set of push-ups with some oomph. So, like I said, I try to be better every time. So this time, I'm gonna cross my ankles. Not necessary, I don't have to, but it just eliminates one point of contact on the floor and then makes my tummy kick into high gear to stabilize. So, setting it up, you're here, and then you're just gonna cross your ankles on the bottom. You don't have to, just trying to give options. That was 10. All right, athletes. That was our first circuit. We've got 4 to go. For our next circuit, we're gonna do some burpees. Everybody loves burpees. And we'll alternate it with a movement to really get that heart rate up and sustain a good pump for our workout. So squat burpees are just what they sound like. First, I'll squat. Hands come down to kick out to a full plank. That back is flat. Feet come in, and you can jump or not. Now we're shooting for 10 reps. So check option. Squat, walk out to full plank, then walk back, no jump. Whatever you need to do to get to 10 is fine by me. Once you get to 10, take a little recovery, hold breath, get ready for the next movement. Our second movement is going to be a jumping lunge. So if jumping lunges aren't your thing, stick with a backward stepping lunge. So whenever we're lunging, we really want to get that back knee down. So many times we lunge like this. This is more of a shuffle. If you're having a hard time with lunges, you can hold on to something, a wall, to get your back knee down, right? Or stick with a squat. So for a jumping lunge, if you're going to do the jumping lunge option, stay low in the legs, push the front knee out, lift the chest, and we're aiming for 10 each leg, so 20 total. Cool. One down, 2 to go. Squat burpees. Both of these movements are really great for the legs, great for cardiovascular. Don't be afraid to take recoveries. It's going to help you tackle the next set. So jumping lunges, I'm going to show a different angle, just so you can kind of, lunges can lead to injury if we're not doing them correctly. So open the chest, squeeze the back, hips stay square, back knee down, front knee out. Okay, guys, we've done 2, 1 to go. Squat burpees. Really use your core to shoot the legs out really fast to a full plank. Make sure that back is flat. We're not here, we're not here, we're not here. Full plank, pump it in, and jump or don't. All right, last set of jumping lunges. 2 circuits down. Next one's a doozy. If you have a taller mat, grab that. You may want it to support your hands or provide a little bit of cushion. Maybe non-slippage if you're getting sweaty. So the next one has options, right? We never want to do something that makes us feel like we're gonna get hurt or so uncomfortable that we don't want to come back. So, you definitely want to push your limitations in any workout, but not to the point where you're like, I'm never doing that again. So to start, I'm gonna do some on my knees. So you can tell I'm setting up for a push-up, but I'm gonna add a little variation to it because I love to add variation. So hands outside the shoulders, and we never want our elbows to come all the way out, but more kind of angle them a little bit back. Like around the 45 is good. So eye gaze forward, back is flat. A lot of times I round my back to make it easier, so I really have to focus. That's something that I have to work on, pushing my chest out and squeezing my back. So eye gaze is forward. I'm gonna push up. Now check it out. Pop up to my knees, and I'm gonna tap my opposite knee, hand to opposite knee. My butt can come up for this movement. So that was one. We're hitting 10, 5 on each side. This is not about speed. This is a strength movement. And that's 10. Take your time. We'll wait. Our next movement is more cardio based, and it's also challenging. Please take option. You do not need to tuck jump. If you'd rather squat jump or just squat, that's okay. Levels, right? So you're hitting a squat, we can be here. A squat jump, you can be here. If you want to tuck, our goal is to drive our knees up to our chest. So anytime you tuck, you want to use your arms to get off the floor. Bring the knees up by really incorporating a lot of core. And then when you land, it's super imperative that you land soft joints so that the movement is absorbed through the muscle and not through your knees. Okay? So I'm gonna try to knock out 10. Whether your number is 2, 5, 7, it doesn't matter. Next week, you try to do a little more, right? I can't talk during this, so I'm just gonna knock out my 10. Heart rate should be up. And we'll go back to our push-ups. Now, if you want to, try some on your toes. That's a good choice, right? Maybe it's 2, maybe it's 7, just like tuck jumps. So, eye gaze is forward, back is flat. I'm gonna try some on my toes, as long as I try not to, I'm really trying not to round my back. Jumps. I'm gonna do mine from the side, so you can kind of see how I use my arms to get off the floor. Seems a lot harder in the garage than it does at the gym. If you're like me, you thrive off that group X experience. But thank you for joining me today. All right, so we have one more set of each. So we'll head back to that push-up when you're ready. Really focus on one thing. And if you're on your knees, guys, just keep them like hip level. They don't need to be too narrow or too wide, just like hip distance. We've got our tuck jumps. And don't kid yourself, tuck jumps are hard, but they're worth it because it's a full body, mind-blowing experience. Plus, if you're like me and you have to sit behind a computer all day, it just makes that so much easier. All right, we've got 10. We're gonna do this. Squat jump, squat, tuck, whatever you're doing. We roll. 2, 1. Guys, we've done 3 circuits. We only have 2 to go. Now, warmer weather is coming, and we're all taking walks outside. So, we're gonna work on our arms a little bit. If you have your bench or your chair, grab that now. If you do not, it's okay. I'm gonna show option on the floor too. I'm gonna get everybody started with some dips. First, form, because I see these done so incorrectly in so many levels. So, anytime you're doing a dip, you want to keep your butt right up against the bench. You want to keep your chest lifted, and you want to take your elbows, and you want to point them back. So butt close, chest lifted, elbows back. You're going to hit down and up. Now, if you're high enough, you can try to drop those arms to a 90-degree angle before you really dig the palms of the hands in to press up. Okay? So let's say you need it a little bit harder. You can extend a leg, right? But if you don't have the bench, check option, easy breezy. Just lean back into the tricep, right? So same thing, chest lifted, elbows come straight back. And we're gonna aim for 10 reps. If you wanna do more, you're like, that's too easy, extend that leg or increase your reps. And once we've hit 10, we can move on. So really squeezing those triceps should feel a good burn. Next one, we're gonna do more squats. I love squats because they just are such a powerhouse of movement. Getting into the butt, we have to stabilize through our core, quads working. So we're gonna add a variation. We're gonna do a little lateral squat jump with the opposite hand to shin swoop. So we'll come up, swoop, up, swoop. And we're gonna aim for 20 or 10 on each side. Now, even though I'm coming and swooping my shin, I want to make sure I squat, right? So I'm not bending, but really squatting, using the arms to get up, squat. That was 20. Time for dips. Tracking form first, chest lifted, elbows back, butt close. I'm going to extend the leg, just to, again, eliminate one point of contact on the floor to make it that much harder. So I kept my left leg up that time. So for my last set, I'll put my right leg up. Okay, I got my lateral jumps. Keeping the chest lifted, hips square. This is not a turn and move movement. It's lateral. Again, making all of this on the outside strong to create stability. Set of dips. Now guys at home, well everybody's at home. If you want to make it harder too, you can always put a plate or something heavy in your lap, a water jug, just to give you a little bit of resistance. Last set of my lateral squat jumps. Circuits down. Hopefully you're feeling accomplished, awake, ready to tackle your tasks. We're going to mix up our last circuit. We're going to do some abs and incorporate a little bit of shoulder work into it as well. So, first movement, just like how I showed on the tricep dip. You're going to extend your legs and drive them in and out. And we're going to try to get to 20 of these. Now, if 20 is not your number today, that's okay. Push yourself though. Someone's not there yelling at you or instructing you what to do. You have to kind of manage yourself and be a self-starter. Sometimes that's not so easy But just know that there's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel. We're all gonna get out of our houses one day. Okay, that was movement one. Our second movement is a plank variation. So, like I said earlier, I have a tendency to round my back. That's something that I'm working on. So, if you're on your knees, that's totally fine. Hips distance apart, hands under your shoulders, push the chest out so your back is flat. Yeah, I do that a lot. I really have to focus on pushing my chest out. Okay? Once we're here, we can pop up to our knees or toes later, but right now we're gonna start on our knees. Because watch, I'm gonna walk forward, forward, back, back, and then I'm gonna go side, side, in. That was 1 rep of 10. Now I'm gonna lead with the other hand. I'm gonna go forward, forward, back, back, side, side, in. That was 2. Don't worry about going fast. Find your pace, get your rhythm. And if you hit 10, take that extra recovery. We're gonna head back to our ab extensions. So our main focus here is that extension of the core and then the contraction of the core. So really get those legs out to a 45, drive them in. Don't go for speed on these movements. It's about isolation. Heading back to that plank work. I'm gonna go a different angle so you can kind of see what's happening. And I am gonna try some on my toes. If I feel like my back is starting to round or my bum is coming up, I know that coming back to my knees is an option, right? Picking these choices to help our workout be successful. I think that was 10. One more time. Of our ab extensions. Now if you want to do more of these, after our time is up, feel free to include any of those movements and make up your own circuits, right? You can take every single movement that we just did, mix it up and get an, excuse me, an entirely different workout. We'll start to burn. All right, one more time with my plank variation. All right, hands under shoulders, back not rounded. Okay. That was 10. Whew. With the weather getting warmer, gotta make sure we get our workouts in. Guys, step it wide, push the knees out, sit the butt down, just open up that chest. Big breath in, come on down, do that again. This time hands on the floor, just kind of lift the butt. We did a lot of leg work today, so make sure you get a good stretch, back of the leg, bring the bum down, open the chest. Oh, that feels good in my back. And hands come down, lift the butt. And we'll swoop on up, big breath in. Thank you for joining me. My name is Rachel. Have a great day.